Hello, welcome back to the channel. On this channel, I talk about life in Canada, Canadian immigration, and personal development. Now, today I'm going to be talking about provincial nomination. I am now a permanent resident of Canada, so what I'll be doing is to share my process, share what are some of the areas, share some of the permanent resident streams, and what exactly I did in regards to provincial nomination, which is what I'm going to be showing you today, is to go through PEI, Prince Edward Islands provincial nomination. So if you're interested in that, I'll be showing you that in this video so that you can see the process of provincial nomination. Now I'm just going to keep my laptop right here in my hand, and I'm just going to screen record and show you how to apply for provincial nomination. Start recording. So I'm just going to record right away. I'm just going to share my screen right away. No hesitation. We're just getting right into it. So I already typed in PEI provincial nomination requirement, and then you can just type that in Google. This will pop up. This is not. So this is PEI's official website with this green forest right here, Government of Prince Edward Island, and then you click it. And this is where it talks about PEI Express Entry, and it shows you about specifically about express entry, and it talks about the different pathways. So it says in order to be eligible for provincial nomination under the express entry stream, which is just to be eligible for one of the federal economic immigration programs, which is just the federal skilled worker program, federal skilled trade, and the Canadian experience class. Just to show you real quick. So where you go is express to see the requirements for express entry if you're very new to permanent residency in Canada and you have no idea about any of this. I'm just going to show you real quick. So express entry requirements, and this is the government website, canada.ca, and you have each of them. So federal skilled worker program, and I'm going to do a different video on all of these because as you can see this is a lot to go through, but it shows you all the requirements and all of that. And one of the main things to note is like the job, the tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. That is like the main thing. I would think language would be a main one depending on where you're from, but these are the requirements. And then you go back and then you go to the second one, so federal skilled trade, and the requirements are a bit different for each, and you just go through all of them and see which one you are eligible for. So let's go back over to PEI Express Entry, and then it goes through how to apply and all of that. Now this is what I want you to go on. So how do I apply? Go here, Workforce Application Guide, select that, and this is where the magic is. Now let me show you what's on this page. Let me zoom it up for you. So on this page, it has all the different nomination streams. You can go through and read all of this. Step one, assess your eligibility. So that is step one. So you have skill worker stream, which is a stream where you can apply and get the provincial nomination, because this is just a step of provincial nomination. You have provincial nomination steps, and then you have the step of actually getting permanent residency through IRCC, which is the federal portion, which is the government of Canada. This is through the government of PEI, which is what gives you the ability to be able to get permanent residency a lot faster compared to going through the regular, just going through IRCC alone. But this step is like a crucial step if you want to get permanent residency and you want like the confirmed stream, then this would be a really good stream where it is more of a confirmed thing than if you go through provincial nomination. If you just go through immigration alone, then it might take some time, or you might just not get in at all. You might not even get
called through the pool, called out of the pool. So this is where you get more points. And then they have other stream that is not just express entry, which is what I want to show you right now. So they have skill worker stream. The skill worker stream is not one of the express entry streams. Let me show you the express entry streams, because those are separate. This is express entry streams. This is separate, but there are other ways of getting nomination and getting permanent residency outside of express entry, which this is just through PEI that you get this, which is why so many people have been immigrating and is it and also just immigrating, I think it is, when you relocate from one province and move to another province because immigrating is way easier there. So many people move to PEI. When I chose PEI, I didn't know anything about any immigration. I wasn't even thinking about immigration permanently. I just wanted to school and see if I wanted to stay there permanently. But um yeah. So skilled worker stream is a separate one. These are the eligibility, so you just go through them. So have a full-time job that is non-seasonal, permanent, or a minimum of 2 years, and you have a job offer, and it has to be high skill in tier 0, 1, 2, 3. If you want to know about the tiers, just Google it. Like just Google everything, tier code Canada, and you can even put immigration. But more than like once you say tier and immigration or tier and Canada, it should come up and you click it and you can get to understand how the whole tier thing works and read and find your stuff and all of that. But this is like just a brief explanation of each tier. You know, 0 would be the highest skill, and then it slowly trickles down. So have at least 2 years of work experience in the past 5 years, have a valid work permit to be working in Canada, have a legal status in the country, have successfully completed a post-secondary degree, age group 18 to 29 years old. You have to have sufficient English, and then you'll see a lot of this. Just keep repeating. Have sufficient financial resources of the applicant and all of that. And then you have the critical worker stream, which is again a separate one other than express entry that you can apply through. And if you want to check processing time for all of this, you can go IRCC processing time, because they vary. Different pathways also vary in processing time. So that's what helps you to decide which one you want to go through. So you have temporary resident visiting, studying, working, economic immigration, family sponsorship, refugees, passports, all these things. You can go to economic, and then here, oh, sorry, I'm doing a tutorial. So economic immigration is what you select here, and then which economic class application, you go here, and then you see which one you want. So these that I'm showing you here are all provincial nominations. So you go in provincial nominees, you have Atlantic Pilot, you have Atlantic Pilot Program, you have Canadian Experience Class, Caregivers, provincial nominees, you have self-employed persons, Quebec Business Class, Skilled Workers, you have a lot of different streams. The provincial nominees, and you can do online versus via through online through express entry, and you would say no if, for example, you're looking for the processing time for critical worker, or you're looking for processing time for skilled worker. Then, and even this one, which will look into international graduate stream, so you say no, and then you see the processing time is 15 months. But processing times are not actually accurate in terms of, you see 15 months, but it doesn't actually take 15 months to process. So that's just like a mark there, but it's not reliable in terms of processing times, or you just will feel as though you got it early. So critical worker stream, it has all the requirements for a critical worker. You just need to be in tier 4 or 5, have a minimum of 6 months full-time work with a PEI employer, have a valid work permit, legal status in the country, have successfully completed secondary, just high school, basically, be between the ages of 18 and 59, have a minimum 2 years of full-time work experience, have the language requirements, sufficient funds. You actually want to settle in PEI permanently. And then you have the international graduate stream. So with the international graduate stream, you just need to have a full-time permanent job offer for a PEI employer. So you just need a job offer versus this one, you need to actually work with the employer for 6 months at least. And then here have a postgraduate work permit. And so you have to have a specifically a valid post-secondary work permit legal status into the country, and then be able to attend an interview with a staff of the office. Yeah, and then English abilities is important, or French, and then age group is always important, finances is important, and genuine intent to settle in, specifically in PEI, is required. And then you have intermediate experience class. These are always to get provincial nomination and all streams to get permanent residency, all of them. So even this one with intermediate experience class. And really the job is the main thing. Like once you land a job, you are you are on your way once you have a job. And then afterwards, yes, some of them requires you to have some work experience, not many, and they just need you to have completed high school, be between the ages of 18 and 59, have legal status into the country, have a minimum 2 years of full-time experience within the last 5 years, provide a valid language test, and the scores they want is just CLB 4, which is very, very low. Um, have the right finances, demonstrate you want to stay permanently. Let's see. So scores for international graduates is also just for the ones. This one is also 4. Oh, so all of them is 4. That's very, very low. Like my score was probably double that amount. So that's a very low score. So you don't even have to worry about scores. So you have also the occupations in demand. So those occupations in demand gives you permanent residency easier. So that includes nurse persons, any nurse at all, you can get this. Light duty cleaners, construction workers, truck drivers, material handlers. Yeah, all these people would be definitely in demand, and you just need a job offer and have at least 1 year work experience directly related to that job. Just 1 year. So just work into a job for 1 year, and then after you're good to go to apply for permanent residency, have successfully completed high school, which more than likely most people completed high school, have the English abilities, have the funds, and you get permanent residency. Like it's very easy in this regard. Here again, you have PEI express entry, which is just be eligible for one of these programs and you are on your way. Then here you have postgraduate work permit. You're required to show 9 months of work experience. Basically, they are saying you're not eligible to apply if you already have an active application with them already, or you have an immigration application for another province. If you've been refused through any immigration process, you are not eligible for any of them. Are living in Canada illegally, you're not eligible, have been refused admission to or was ordered to leave Canada, you're not eligible, are working in Canada without authorization, you wouldn't be eligible, are living in Canada and are out of legal status, you're not eligible, are an unresolved or failed refugee. So many different things that makes you are self-employed, not eligible. So they basically filter out everyone who is self-employed. I wonder if they realize that. And yeah, so many, you can read through all these and see what else they're saying. Employer requirements, all the employers need to have these requirements right here, and you can read all of that, and then they start to tell you how to apply, which is step 2. If you realize that you meet a requirement for at least one program, then you can apply. How do you choose?
So, how do you choose a program? Now, choosing a program is really up to what program are you the most eligible for. So, when you go through, you need to find out, okay, I'm eligible for this, eligible for this one, eligible for that one, but which one are you the most eligible for, and which one just aligns with you. If you realize that every single one of them align with you perfectly, then just pick one. Like, if all of them you rate, all of them you align 10 out of 10 with every single one of them, then you can just close your eye and choose anyone. But what I realized when I was going through it is that I saw this one, oh, but it has this requirement and I didn't have this requirement right here. And then, oh, this one, I could get a requirement, but I don't have that requirement as yet. So cross it off, this requirement. And sometimes what happens too is you start to work towards one of the specific programs and then you can't get the document, and when you can't get the document, then you need to look again to either try to get the document or look if you're eligible for another one. So that is how you can filter them out, look through them, and you'll slowly filter to until you make a choice. But I know if you are an indecisive person, this process is going to be very, very difficult for you because you really need to be decisive. And with anything immigration, you have to be able to make a decision. Otherwise, you're just going to be spiraling round and round, back and forth, thinking the same things because you have so much options. It's hard to choose one, but you just choose which one makes the most sense for you as an individual. Not what makes more sense for me, not what makes sense for other people, what makes the most sense for you. So that is the main thing about it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. You can also send me an email. I'll be happy to answer your question. Remember to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't seen my video about me becoming permanent resident, you can definitely take a look at it. I'll link it up here and I'll also link it right here on the screen. Definitely enjoy that video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.